this can be a big differentiator between you and your competitors. Hi, guys, and welcome back. And as I was going to a startup event yesterday, which was in Chennai, it was called Startup Tiruvalla, and it's basically an initiative by the Tamilnadu government to take forward entrepreneurs and startups to the next level of getting their funding and helping them pitch their idea to venture capitals or angels, and so on. So I wanted to really talk about there was something that was growing, like just brewing inside of me, in terms of giving back to communities, because as I when I started up, and even way before I had the idea itself, there was a lot of discussions where I had, how can I actually give value to the communities that I grow with, as well as communities that I grew up in, because I grew up in Mozambique the first 17, 18 years of my life. And you look at those number of years, and that country that I grew up in has given me so much. So I will also want to find ways in which I can give back to the communities there. So I was always finding ways in which I can help the local communities, whether it be back in India, whether it be in Mozambique, whether it be in the UK, where it's currently put up. I always wanted to ensure that I want to have a greater impact, not just the business prospect of, yes, going into the business world and making connections, networking, and so on, but understanding what the importance of giving back to communities is, right? Um, and that's where this whole idea came in. And I was thinking about it yesterday because I was asked how my business will help the community, that the Tamil community in India and so on. I wanted to understand how I could do, or how I could create an impact. It's not just providing jobs, but the ulterior motive of providing value to your customers, or even just uplifting that environment that you're surrounded by. So social responsibility should be taken care of, I think, not just once you're profitable. I think that's something that you have to build upon. So when you build an organization, or when you build a startup, when you have an idea, look to always have an idea of how can you give back to companies around you, or how can you give back to the economy around you, or the people around you, and so on. So I was thinking about ways in which I could give back was, in terms of, no, it's education. So obviously I already had a planned mindset of going into looking at e-waste and how I can reduce e-waste, because that's a growing problem. So by doing that, I was helping the communities that I was working with, where we were taking e-waste, or where we're taking the tablets, or laptops, refurbishing them, and then providing them to, let's say, people in need, and providing them with online resources and tools and educational resources to actually learn, and learn safely. So these are ways in which I had taken steps to actually do that. And so this isn't just about like creating a positive brand image, and no, it's a good PR for the company, but rather you kind of work with people, and you're growing with people, and you're growing with the economy that you're surrounded by. So I think it's very important for us to engage, and also help the communities that we're growing in. So how can we do it? I think look at what the values of your organization is, and look at how you can kind of take those values and put it into the market, as well as help people without, even if you didn't get anything in return for that, it should be fine, because that's how you should look at it. No, what you're trying to build is a business, but at the same time a community around that business. So because when that happens, you have a long-term effect, because you're going to build trust, you're going to build a relationship with people, and that relationship can go a long way. They might not be your customers today, and they might not be paying customers today, or they might be customers who are not paying, but somewhere along the line they're gonna be thankful to you, or no, you're gonna build a system where you're helping others, and they're gonna help other people. So it's gonna be passed on. And so that's very important to build that. And then having accessing local resources and networks is very important, because when you're building those stages, or when you are a startup and you are helping, and when we're in that startup ecosystem and everyone is helping, it's just little steps or little things that will take that economy or that place to a next level, right? So I think it's because a lot of businesses think that, oh, if we're going to do something, we've got to do it big and we've got to get some benefit out of it. Yes, you can think about doing things for the benefit, but at the same time, think about the benefit that you're giving to your customers, and not getting, or think about looking at giving more than you're actually asking for. So if you're working with a community and you're working with building a community, then you're going to give, and you're going to wait, because you're not going to be asking anything, when you're giving back to communities and helping communities. And that kind of helps in long term visions of the company. You might learn things, you might see things that you might not see, and like, you want to learn from it, you want to build from it, you want to take those ideas and implement it into a profitable model. It could be something that you're testing and trialing. This doesn't have to be something that you're investing millions of your own money, or VC funds or anything, but it's something that you need to think about when it's coming from your heart, because if that's how you look at it, then it's going to make an impact. um, so initially, when I had an idea of creating a non-profit which was called Startup Africa, way before this idea, no, my idea was to give back in educating entrepreneurs and business owners and to grow their businesses digitally. But the initial work was, how can we get to help them without asking money from those entrepreneurs? And when they grow, obviously we can find a way we can monetize things. So I had the idea of doing that, and I was doing that in African regions, in Mozambique, in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, in Zambia, in Namibia, and a few other countries as well. We had a lot of people sign up, and we have a WhatsApp group, as well as a LinkedIn group, where people are constantly asking for help, but I'm able to put in free time. So that was purely based on the need that, oh, I want to help them, and I want to make sure that I'm able to help them. It wasn't something that I was asking in return. Obviously, if they grow, then there's going to be much more benefits, or there are going to be benefits to me, to them, and everyone involved in it. But that's the whole impact. We're creating an impact where we're passing on the knowledge, because when we're learning, we also have to teach. And when we're not teaching, it means that we're not doing justice to what we're learning. So we need to understand how to go about things, because it's a full cycle. Life's a full cycle, and we need to also give back. It's not that, no, you only give back after you've grown old. You can give back in small levels, in what you can give back, and that's what creates an impact in giving back to communities. Um, and yes, and this can be a big differentiator between you and your competitors, because I think a lot of times, a lot of the big organizations always look to do things for CSR or corporate social responsibility. They bring in those plans and bring proposals and everything when their company has hit like a $500,000 mark or a $1 million mark, and then they're going public and they want to do good to the communities, and then there's PR, and then there's good that they're doing for the cities around them, and so on. But I think it's way no that has to come way before. No, it has to come from the start of your company, or when you have humble beginnings and you're not able to take care of even the people around you. Then what is the real reason why you're in business? Are you in business just for the money? Because if it's just for the money, there's lots of other things that you can do. And I went into the education field for for starting up a business, was purely because I wanted to provide more value than I was asking for. And I think that's where I see satisfaction, because by being in the education field, you can help a lot of people in so many ways. And it's not just the monetary aspects, but at the same time, it's looking at what else can I provide for these people, rather than just asking them to pay for services and so on. So whether it be building more infrastructures for children with disabilities, or whether it be building more ways in which we can connect women who are not at jobs right now, and connect them with the knowledge of teaching, or they're able to teach, or train them up, and so on. So these are things that I'm actually in process of building, um, and these are things that have come up in my ideas. And how can we use technology, how can we use these platforms that we're building in a more bigger or more impactful manner, and take that globally, rather than just looking at, yes, there's going to be profits, those are all I'm trying to think about the long term vision, or I'm trying to think about the next 10 years, 15 years. Even if I don't do it within this business, I'm pretty sure that whatever I have sown the seed for will reap its benefit in another business, or in something else, in another capacity. So that's how it works, because not every business will be successful, or not every startup will be successful, but the entrepreneur who's the heart of that startup was that entrepreneur, that founder themselves. So, and they're not going away. That hunger for creating, and the hunger for actually creating something impactful continues, and that's going to always be my motto. Or it's always going to be the way I look at things. That's what I want to do. So when we're trying to do those and address those social concerns and issues as well, along with the business side of things, I think our business becomes more powerful. I think our impact on the society becomes more powerful, and we make the world a better place. I hope you found this useful. I don't know if this was just a rant, or no. I really thank you for listening into my TED talk. But yes, I think it's building relationships with local communities. Can provide valuable resources, network, and just benefit not just your startup, but at the same time just build you as a person. I think that's what I'm really going for, because every day that you wake up and you go into the workforce, or go into your business and start working, I think you've got to think to yourself, how have I grown from yesterday, or what have I learned new? What have I taken the steps for? And how have I grown as a person as well? So, because that's what's going to take you and help you to build your company, and then your company can be impactful to so many others. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please do that, because it's really, really, really helpful for us, and really helpful for me and my channel and the podcast, so we can actually look at even bringing on people and speaking to people. So I think I have a lot of plans in mind, but at the same time I want your support. If you've gotten this far, and if you've listened to me, I think it's fair to say that you are supportive. And if you are supportive, please hit like and share and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. Cheers, guys. Bye.